Welcome back to Trader UK, the money management channel. Today's video is going to be in two parts. The first part is for everybody that watches the videos, everyone that likes, everyone that comments, and everyone subscribed to the channel. The second part will then be for those of you that have your own YouTube channels as well, which I know is a fairly sizable amount of my subscribers. Before I do jump into this, as always, if you could give the video a little like, and if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to subscribe for more similar content. Now, the first part of this video is just a big thank you to everybody out there that watches the videos. This channel now has over 1,000 subscribers and something like 5,500 watch hours, which is really impressive. It now means that after 7.5 months work, the channel is monetized, which is a big achievement and something that I'm really happy with. So thank you again. Now, I did say from the very beginning that I wouldn't put any money into the channel until I could see that people were actually taking some value from the content. I think this is a good point where I can sort of justify that now. So over the next few months, I'll start to ramp up the production value a little bit. Thank you very much again in the meantime whilst I get that sorted. Whether you are here for the tax content or the investing content or a little bit of everything, again, a little bit of your time twice a week or so really goes a long way. It's really appreciated, and your continued support will help me to continue to grow the channel. Now, what follows is going to be for the creators out there, those of you that have your own YouTube channels, or possibly those of you that are thinking to start your own channel, which I would highly recommend, by the way. I have always been a big fan of the YouTube analytics. I love that I can log into my account. I can see how many views I've had in the last 7 days, 28 days, 48 hours. I can see where those viewers are coming from, where they're being directed from, where in the world they are. It's all very interesting for me, and the fact that I can see how long they're engaging with my content for is great. But I was always taught that numbers in isolation aren't actually that useful, which is very true as well. If you don't have something to compare them with, how do you know if you're doing well or not? So today what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my full analytics with you so you can see how my small YouTube channel has been performing, and hopefully you can use that yourself to see where you can make improvements and where you're doing really well as well. So here we are in my YouTube analytics. I'm going to run through everything here with you. For those of you that aren't familiar, it's quite straightforward. We have a summary page, overview tab we're on now. Number of views so far, 73,800 views, 5,600 hours of watch time, just under 1,100 subscribers, and then we have a revenue tab. When you're not monetized, you won't have the revenue tab yet, so you may not be able to see that one. I'm not going to go into a great deal of detail on the revenue side of things today, as it's only been running a few days. I can already see how people make a lot of money on YouTube. I mean, my channel is probably the smallest channel that you can get monetized, and it's already generating some income. But I'll do a separate video. I'm going to give it a month or so to settle down because the numbers are up and down and all over the place at the moment. But I will share that with you if you want me to at some point. On the right hand side, you can then see where it says real-time updating live, a live feed to the subscribers, 1,072. And then I like this analytic, the number of views in the past 48 hours. So my numbers tend to fluctuate somewhere between 1,200 in the last 48 hours up to 2,000 in the last 48 hours. And I don't know if this is the case for you. Let me know in the comments, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are much busier days. Friday, Saturday and Sunday, not the best for me. You also have your 3 best performing videos just below that analytic, and then the chart on the left hand side. This is worth looking at. So I've got this on the lifetime of the channel, so you can see for me it's been about 7 or 8 months now. It's long, slow, sort of organic growth, I would call this. There hasn't been a viral video. I see this a lot with channels. A lot of channels that get monetized early, and you'll see them saying, I got monetized after a month or 2 months, whatever it might be. I think that causes problems in the long run. if you have a viral video, your views are going to shoot straight up, and then they'll come back down the other side, unfortunately, and you're constantly going to be chasing that peak that you had from before. Whereas with this, you can see it's been real slow, steady growth. I've been able to build on what I was doing the week before. I've been able to build on that week by week. It's much better for your, as a creator, probably better for your self-esteem as well. Scroll down and we'll be able to find some more analytics here. Latest video on the right hand side, just gone out, it's only got 40 odd views. Average view duration 931 on this one. That's really high actually. I'll show you my average view in a minute. I don't know why that one's so high, but that's really good. And then your top performing videos over time. I've got a number of videos now that are crossing the 10,000 view mark, which is great. And it shows you here the average view tends to vary between, I mean, the lowest is what, 2.5 minutes up to 5 minutes 46 there. You can also see at the top here, if I tab between views to watch time, the watch time is very similar. It's been growing steadily throughout the life of the channel. Subscribers, I tend to attract between 8 and 10 subscribers a day at the moment. And then you've got the revenue tab. It's too early to tell what the revenue is going to be like on this one, but again, I'll show you that at a later date. If we then move on to the reach tab, I'm going to get to the most interesting, the most useful analytic in a second for you. You can see here that we've had 616,000 impressions across the lifetime of the channel. Average click-through rate 8.1% across all videos. And that's generated 73,800 views. If I scroll down here, then you can see that the majority of the views actually come from YouTube search here. I'll show you another analytic about how many views come from subscribers and how many don't, which is really interesting on this channel. 21% from suggested videos, 6% from browse features, etc. But clearly, the majority of the views on this channel are coming from YouTube search, which is great for me. That's what I actually prefer. You can see on the right-hand side how those impressions feed through to watch hours and views. And then below that, a little breakdown of the traffic source for external, the playlists that they come from. Probably the most relevant will be down on the bottom on the right hand side here, because YouTube search is where the majority of my views come from. You can then see the keywords that people are searching for. The majority are for my DeGiro tutorials, premium bond videos and self-assessments, which is exactly what I expect. On the bottom left here, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I believe these are the other videos that suggest my video as well, which is good to see. But all of these really useful analytics. Let's move through to the engagement now. So this tab will probably be the most useful for those of you out there that have your own channels. Again, it tells us we have 5,500 watch hours, but it also tells you, in my opinion, and probably most of yours as well, what is the most important analytic from YouTube? Your average view duration. How long are you keeping the viewer on your video for? And you can see that mine is currently 4 minutes and 35 seconds. Now, obviously, this will vary a lot by channel depending on what you're talking about and the duration of your videos in general. It doesn't mean that if you have a higher number, you have the best channel. It doesn't mean that if you have a lower number, you have the worst channel. I'm sure there are tons of really successful channels out there with 2-minute engagement, but they manage to keep people watching video after video after video. So it's obviously very subjective. But what I would ask, because it would be really useful for me as well, if you have your own YouTube channel, if you can let me know in the comments what your average view duration is, that would be really useful for me, just so I can sort of benchmark where I am. And again, you can see here that it's been pretty steady growth. We have a few sort of peaks and troughs recently. It's not because I'm releasing videos on certain days or anything. It's like I said, the peaks will come from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursday to some extent as well. And then the lows tend to be on the Friday and Saturdays. Below that is a key analytic that I only found today, but really useful to see. Key moments for audience retention. So this here, the list from 1 to 10 will show you What percentage of your audience are still watching at 30 seconds? And you can see here, even my best performing video at the top here, 35% of the audience has already left that video before 30 seconds. So sometimes when you're putting out a 10-minute video and you see the average view duration at 3 or 4 minutes, it doesn't feel very good and you think you've done really badly. But if 35% of your audience just click off anyway in the first 30 seconds, and that's quite normal, then of course it's going to really drag down that view duration. So don't be disheartened when that does happen, but again, a useful analytic in here. At the bottom here, we have the top videos by watch hours, top videos by end screen, playlist, top end screen elements, and then the top cards. The only thing I would point out to you here, I'm terrible for using cards. I think I've put them in 2 or 3 videos maybe when I first started. I started putting in end screens on a regular basis about halfway through this journey. But clearly they generate quite a few views. So if you can, add end screens and add cards where you can as well. If I click on to the average view duration, you can see that there is growth, but it's quite slow and steady. The average view duration is slowly getting longer, but not by a great deal. And then I'm going to move on to the audience tab. Some of these figures aren't actually available at the moment. Again, pretty steady growth here. It's useful to see when your audience is online. For me, I'm just going to show you a statistic in a second, just below here. Watch time for subscribers. For my channel, unsubscribed viewers make up 95% of my watch time. Subscribed, just 4.8%. So for me, I always think that it's not so important when I put my videos out. I don't really need to time it to meet my subscriber base. There is evidence to say that over the long term, it doesn't have any impact anyway. But if I had a channel where it was the other way around and 95% of my views came from my subscribers, then yeah, I would definitely be trying to time it so my videos are going out when they're waking up or when they're more likely to be on YouTube. So just bear that in mind. For my channel, I don't think it makes much of a difference because I tend to get my views later on in the channel, in the video's life. But if your views come from your subscribers, then definitely try and time it to your advantage. You can also see on the right hand side, I found this really interesting, subscriber bell notifications. So 10.7% of subscribers who turned on all notifications, and the average is 10 to 30%. I'm surprised at that, to be honest. I never, ever, ever in any videos tell anyone to turn on the notifications. I've never mentioned it once, so I'm surprised it's even at 10%. And then you can also see 7.7% who actually allowed notifications. So again, lots of people out there on YouTube are turning on notifications for channels, but turning off in their settings, so it doesn't work anyway. Below this, again, you've got the stat there, 95% from unsubscribed viewers, 5% or less than 5% from subscribed viewers. The UK is my most popular market. Of course, I'm from the UK, Ireland, Netherlands, Germany, and Portugal, but good to see you get views from everywhere. Age and gender. So 10.2% of my subscribers, or my lifetime views, sorry, are female and 89% are male. That's actually increasing slowly. It used to be 3 or 4% were female, so that's good to see as well. Age range most popular is 25 to 34 years old, with 52% of the views. Again, that's kind of expected. That's my age range, so I would expect that as well. And then just an analytic in the bottom corner about subtitles. I will just show you the revenue tab just so you know what it looks like. But there isn't much information in here. You can see the playback-based CPM, which is on the right-hand side, $36.21. That's quite high from what I can see, but it is kind of up and down all over the place because it's the first few days. Let's give it a month or two and then I'll feed back to you. I'll do a video and we'll go into a little bit more detail. But if you don't know, the CPM is the amount that advertisers will pay to YouTube for 1,000 views on my videos. It's an average across all the videos. The RPM, again, it's not accurate at the moment because it's too early, it hasn't got enough data. The RPM is what actually gets paid to you, the revenue that you generate, but as well as ad revenue will include donations made to your channel, will include subscriptions that you might have in your channel. So it's all sources of income from YouTube, whereas the 3621, that's just what YouTube actually generate from 1,000 views on your channel. And if I scroll down below this, it breaks it down by video. You can see a few videos that have started to earn a little bit of money. You can see where the money comes from, whether it's skippable ads, bump ads, display ads, etc. And you can see here as well revenue sources. This is something that I didn't know. You also make money from premium subscribers. If they watch your videos, you get a cut of their premium subscription as well, which is really cool. So there's not much information in this one, but I'll come back to it at a later date. Probably in a month's time, when I can give you a full month, we'll have a look at this one when the data's a little bit more relevant. But I would say the most useful piece of information here is probably this one, the average view duration. So again, if you could share with me your average view duration, if anyone has like one particular video that's got 10-20 minutes average view, that would be great to know as well. But it's just to help me with my channel so I know how to benchmark. So that is everything for today, guys. I hope you found it useful. I hope you can use this to your advantage and see where you're performing, where you aren't performing, and use it as a bit of a benchmark. I'll keep an eye out in the comments for your average view duration as well. Thank you as always for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel, and I'll see you next time.